Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and we are on April the 3rd and doing the hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge with Seven Plaza, Margaret at Seven Plaza and Tony at Crafty by Tony. And if you use that hashtag, you can see what others are doing. I'm sure there's lots and lots of videos out there. And today we're on the letter C. So I am going to do something with these CLAM clips. And I got these at the thrift store. They come, this is what they look like. They're silver. They come with, well, they don't come with, this is a refill box. You can get a little tool that will apply these to your paper, and you use it like a binder clip. They're almost like a little binder clip without the little handles. And so you can get a tool to help you put these on because they're rather tight. You can do it without it, so I didn't get one because I'm probably not going to ever get these again unless I happen to find them at the thrift store again. But what I didn't like about these is they are silver, and I like to do grungy, rustic, vintage, aged looking journals and things, and so I did not like the silver. So I thought, well, what can I do to make that be different? So I tried a little process, and this is how it turns out. So this is original, and this is the finished product, which I don't know if you can tell is sort of rusted looking. And that's what I wanted, was a rusty look. So I'm going to show you how you do that today. You will need the clams, or you can actually do it on any metal. I'm trying to find my little sponges here. So hold on a second. Here they are. Okay. So you can do this on any metal. This will work on any metal. This is what I wanted to do it on. And since today is the letter C and these are clips, CLAM clips, I thought, well, I'll do this for today. So what you will need is something to apply paint with. It can be a brush. I used, to do these, I used a tissue, like a Kleenex tissue, and that worked just fine. I'm going to try a sponge today. This is a little makeup sponge, so I'm going to try that today and see how that works. And what I did, and you'll need a little card to clip these on, the ones you're going to do, because they're very small and hard to handle. Now, if you will notice, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this one, because I tried alcohol ink first. I like alcohol ink. What I don't like about it, you have to let it dry between colors if you want the colors to be not one color displace the other. On alcohol inks, if you put a drop of ink on anything and then use another drop of ink on top of that while they're both wet, the new ink will displace the old ink, so you don't get a mix. So you got to dry them in between to keep that from happening. So I tried some alcohol ink on it first. I did not like the way they turned out. And so then I went to paint. So let me show you. I'm just using some, what is that called? Ivory black. That's an oxymoron. Ivory black, which is, I think this came from Walmart. And this is antique gelling. It is a paint. You can just use a brown paint. I used, on some of these, I used a mocha brown or a chocolate brown or any kind of brown. Doesn't matter. You start off, move these to the side. And I am going to, I've already put some, this is the little card I used before, and I've already put some of the clips on here. Now I can just run this down the side and get it. I say that, and maybe not. I did just slide these on. Let's see if I can get this one on. That one's not as easy for some reason. It's a tighter one. These are kind of tight. That's why you're supposed to have this little tool to put them on, because they're kind of tight to put on. But that's okay. I don't care. So I take a screwdriver, this little fat screwdriver right here, and stick it down in there. And that will open the clip enough. I don't know if you can tell that it's opened it a little bit, enough to put it on the card. Except maybe not here, because this card is splitting a little bit. That's why. There we go. And then you can just pull it back out once you've got a little corner over it, and it'll just push right on. Like I said, I was able to get these others just on by doing this, but the card is kind of slipping, so we're going to do it this way. So this is the size screwdriver I'm using, but it's a short one, as you see. And you just push your screwdriver. I have to do it over here, all the way down in there. And it opens it enough to get it over the card. And that's how you could put it on your project, too. And most of the time, I intend to leave it on the project and not be something that it would come off. You also can, on one of these, I think it was this one, it just slips it off, because I actually spread it out and made it stay spread out just a little bit. So you could do that as well. And that is, you take this, and I have to push it in, and then you pull it over here and then twist it a little bit. I think that, it's been a while since I did that, but I think that's how I made that be, where you could just slip it on and off, and it's not quite as tight. So there's ways around it. So let's get this on here. And I'm just going to do this whole little card, because once you're doing it, you might as well do it all, right? I think that one was looser all by itself. I hadn't done anything to it, but it seemed to be a little bit looser. But this is really, really quick and easy. You don't put a lot of paint. You don't use a lot of paint. You also could, rust, depending on what it's rusting. The brown and the black and the brown usually works pretty well. That one was looser too. And that usually works pretty well. But you could also add a little bit of orange or rust color, and a little bit of turquoise, because those colors do show up in rust sometimes. So if you wanted to make them be a little different, you could. I'm happy with just doing the brown and the black. So the other thing I do is, when I'm working on something like this, I hate cleanup. I really don't like cleanup at all. So I take, this is my magazine. It's a TV guide magazine that I use when I'm doing glue stick and gluing things, or need to wipe glue off or whatever. This is what I use. You don't need much. So this is how much black I'm getting. It's just that little bit. I may need more, but I'd rather do less and need more than do a lot and need less. Then I'm going to use my sponge, and I'm going to fold it up like this. And just because it's easier, if one of these clips will work, or this clip will work, I'm going to put a clip on it, so I have a handle. Now when I did it with the tissue, I just folded the tissue up, and I didn't make a handle. But I don't want to get paint on my clip, so I'm going to make sure I have enough room. Matter of fact, let's do it like there. I'm going to do it like that. And then all I'm going to do is dab it into the paint and dab it. You just dab it onto your clip, just like this. And you just go all around it, pretty much covering it all. But if a little bit, I got to lift it up just a little bit so I can still do it under the camera, but I'll pull you in so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So you dab, and you make sure you get this little edge because it will show. And you see I'm not covering it completely. And I want that stippled effect because that's what gives it the texture. I'm going to need some more. So I'll get a little bit more this time. So it's kind of thick, kind of not thick. Any black paint, doesn't have to be this brand. Any black paint will do. I'm going to do a little bit more on these because I just want them to be a little bit more dense. Probably shouldn't have tried to put this end one on here. And you're going to do the two colors. So do black, and then you're going to do brown. I don't even change my tool. I just use it together. It works just fine because you're mixing them anyway. So, and you just go about your business here. Have to be careful. I may get my fingers all in it. Yeah, I probably tried to put too many on here. You know, what can I say? So you just dab, 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 dab. Be sure you get it on the edge. See this one is really loose, so it actually is trying to come off in my dabbing process. That's the one I loosened up myself. So the rest of these are staying on there pretty well. Again, you want a little bit of thickness just because you want that. You want the peaks and valleys. That makes it look rusted. You also could use resting paste, which has a little grit to it, but you also could put sand in this. That would also accomplish that. So I don't feel the need to have resting paste. A friend had given me a little bit, and I used it, and I like it. It works great, but I don't need to buy any, I don't think. And you don't use very much, and on the resting paste, you actually would still paint because it's not like paint. It's like paste. And let me get oh, here's one. A napkin, have a napkin handy. Yeah, probably shouldn't. I'm going to take these off because I need something to hold with. That way I can still hold this. So I am enjoying. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do every day because today we're going out of town tomorrow. So today, at least for 2 days. So today I would have to do tomorrow's and Saturday's video. I don't know if I'll get it done today. I'm afraid I'm going to get this on my... Okay, so this is the first layer. And I don't even give it much time to dry. By the time I'm done with all of these, it's dry enough to go on to the next one. Go on to the next color. You don't really have to let it dry. That actually kind of makes it mix together better. And if some of the silver shows through, that's okay too, because it wouldn't all rust at the same level, same time frame, if it was true rusting. Okay, now I'm going to use some of my antiquing gel, which is just a brown. It's just a paint that's brown. And then I'm just going to put a little bit too much brown. I don't want it to, you know, I want the black to still show through. So you take it and you just kind of dab it over in areas just to show a little bit of brown. And doesn't take too long. It's pretty quick. I want to thank you all for coming. If you've just found me, welcome. If you've been coming all along, I appreciate it. Appreciate having you back. Thank you for anyone who chooses to comment. It's nice to get comments. I do answer my comments. So I appreciate that. Getting the opportunity to discuss. There we go. I couldn't get that in there because I got those two close together. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's change my direction here. And see, that just really just works out perfectly. Then you just set this aside to dry. And just be sure you get all the areas you want to get. If you need to get a little more black, you get a little more black. Just using the same tool. And they're all going to look different, and they're all going to be different, and that's okay, because it would be different in real life. Nothing would be exactly the same. And I think, did I get them all? Let's look at these. Whoops. See, I got that way too much on that one. So we'll just get a little more black in there. A little more black on this one. I got a little too much brown. I mean, quite heavy-handed with the brown, which is not what you want to do. You actually don't need to be terribly heavy-handed. The black more so. That's where I try to get the texture more from the black, but the more paint you have, the more texture you're going to get. So you just keep dabbing until you get it the color you want it to be. And then you can use them on your project and not, you know, they're not shining at you. That was the main thing. If they had been a silver, even if it had been truly aged, see, I got paint on me. I knew I would. Okay, so I think I got everything pretty well. Yep. Yeah, just keep dabbing until it looks like you want it to look. Then I need something to sit it on. Oh, I think I set it on the box the last time this way, like this. Let me do it over here on this so it doesn't get on my... So I'm just going to let it sit there like that to dry. And it's not going to hurt that it's sitting on there. And then I have the rest of these to do. I will have the rest of these that I need to do. But that's how you do it. So that's my video for today, is rusting, quote unquote, rusting these silver clam clips. So today is C, and we're talking about clips. So I thank you for coming along. Again, if you have just found me, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. You'll get further videos from me as we go through this, certainly as we go through this month with the alphabet. And I also am doing the Marguerite Miller weekly collage, so join me for that as well. And today we did clips. So thank you for coming. Comment, let me know what you think about this video, this technique, and let me know if you think you're going to try it. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.